Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening. Welcome to a quick restorative practice. So for this practice, you will need your mat, a block or two. If you don't have any blocks, you can also use rolled up towels or some thick hardback books and a bolster. If you don't have a bolster, you can also use really firm pillows or blankets that you have folded into vaguely this kind of shape that will hold their shape. I like to stack blankets and pillows together because they mush down a whole lot more than the bolster does. This is stuffed with really firm cotton or kapok, so it doesn't really mush down a whole lot. And that's sort of the surface that you want. This restorative class is designed to help you relax and heal and tap into that part of your nervous system, your parasympathetic nervous system, that helps you to do those things. So we'll be focusing on the breath, and there is no music in this class. If you would like to add music, please feel free. Find some music that doesn't have any words, something that will help you to relax and tap into your deeper self. So we're going to begin with deer pose. So this one is a nice opener for the side body, for the hips. You do want to make sure that you are comfortable in this posture, so you may need to make adjustments. You're going to come with your left leg in front. You want your left shin parallel to your pelvis, and then your right leg comes back behind it, sort of like you're posing for a picture. I like to be up a little higher. We're going to be turning to the side. So I'm going to place my blocks here long ways in a long line, and then I'm going to place my bolster on top of those. They're right next to my hip, so that when I turn and face them, I'm going to get a stretch along here, maybe on the inner thigh. It just kind of depends on where you are tight. So we're going to do each posture for about 4 minutes, and then there'll be time to transition and a nice long shavasana. So to come into this pose, now that you've got your legs where they belong, inhale and lengthen. Exhale, turn your sternum towards your bolster, and then just allow yourself to melt over the bolster. You can turn your head to one side, and then just breathe. And I can see that I need to readjust, so I'm going to do that. Check in on your legs. Make sure they're staying really heavy and relaxed. Your arms can come alongside the bolster, or you can lengthen them out side to side for a little stretch in your underarms. I like having them a little closer. That feels a little more secure to me. And you want to make sure you are releasing your leg muscles. So really send your awareness into your lower back and your legs, and notice whether you're still hanging on to any tightness, hanging on to the muscles. If you find that you are, take deep breaths all the way down into your belly. Let them go with a sigh. Release your legs and back even more. 2 more like that. Inhale deeply all the way down to your tummy. Exhale with a sigh. Inhale down to your tummy. Exhale with a sigh. With your next inhale, gently press into your hands, walk them in towards your legs. Take both legs out to the center, shake them out a little bit. And we're going to move the props to your other side. So again, you want the blocks a nice long line. The bolster or your blanket and pillows on top. You can make it lower. I have it up high just because I am especially tight in my outer hip, so I cannot go down as far. Feel free though to lower it. You don't have to keep it up as high as I've got mine. This time, your right shin is parallel to your pelvis, and your left leg sort of comes back behind you. So you may notice a difference from side to side. For me, I notice that my left side is a lot tighter than my right. I do tend to stand with my weight more in my left leg. So if you do something like that, standing asymmetrically, you might notice a big difference between the two sides as you move. To come into it, make sure the bolster's right near your hip. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, turn toward the bolster, and slowly lower yourself down. And again, you can bring your hands on either side of the blocks and bolsters. You can take them out into a T shape if you want. Notice what you want to do. And I notice that as I come into it, my left leg has tightened up a bit. So I'm going to see if I can use my breath to let it go. That's a normal thing that your body does, just trying to help you out. But if you want to tap into that parasympathetic nervous system to help yourself heal and really relax, you are going to need to let go of as much as you can. So you can lay with your forehead down or with one cheek down. And we'll be here for 4 minutes, just like we were on the last side. We'll take 3 deep breaths like we did on the first side. So inhale, exhale, inhale, all the way down to your belly, exhale, inhale, and exhale completely. 1 or 2 more deep breaths here. Gently press into your hands to come up. Walk your hands in towards your hips. Take your legs out in front of you, shake them out. And take a moment to notice any changes in your breath and how your lower body feels. This next one is both a heart opener and a hip opener. You might want some extra towels for your legs, like rolled up, or not. So I'll help you get set up, show you the setup. So if you have blocks, you're going to take one block and put it down on its lowest setting, and your other block will be up on its highest setting. So take your bolster and put it at the diagonal. So the way to do this if you don't have blocks and a bolster is to think about stacking in this sort of isosceles triangle shape with whatever you do have, your books, your blankets, and pillows. Always have something nearby to drink. Breathing deeply can dehydrate you. So this one is a nice heart opener. It helps to relax the tissue between the shoulder blades while opening up the chest. And depending on what you do with the legs, it can be also a hip opener. So some people choose to do this in Sukhasana, easy pose. Other times, and the way I've seen it done most, is with the legs in a bound angle position. So the soles of your feet are together, knees are opened out in a wide diamond. Typically the feet are a little further away than you would have them if you were doing a more yang or active asana practice. So I would say to adjust them to a place where you feel comfortable. You can let them stay there for an extended period of time, and you won't feel any stress on your inner hips or in the groin. From here, you take your little isosceles triangle that you've created with a bolster or with your blankets right up against your lower back. You want the center of your stack to be at the center where your spine is, because you're going to lay your spine back along this, like so. And I like to roll my shoulders back and down, and then just let your arms come out beside you. Palms facing up is a more receptive pose, receiving energy. Palms facing down on the ground will be more grounding energy. Today I'm feeling more receptive, so I'm going to turn my palms up. Once you get here, make sure you're comfortable. Make sure you're not arching your back or doing any other weird thing with your system. Let both legs really be heavy. And in this one, focus on your breath. You'll be able to feel it in all dimensions. So you'll feel your breath up against the inside of your arms as you inhale. As you exhale, you'll feel yourself float back down into the bolster or your triangle of blankets. As you inhale, you can feel your belly and heart space expand. You feel your rib cage move back into the bolster. And as you exhale, you feel your rib cage come back into your body, allowing your breath to release. Just notice what is coming up for you, thoughts, feelings, memories. You're simply here to observe what's coming up. There's no judgment associated. with anything that's happening. Very gently begin to deepen your breath, coming back into your body. Bring your hands underneath your outer thighs and draw your legs together. And then turn onto one side to come off of the bolsters and pillows. Bring your hands back behind you. Leave your knees bent and the soles of your feet down, and just gently rock your legs side to side like windshield wipers, just to let go of any tightness that may have developed while you're in that position. And the final position I'll be cueing is a restorative version of child's pose. This is a nice counter pose to the heart opener we just did. Very grounding and can help you let go of the muscles in your lower back. It can help you feel comforted and held by yourself, which is an important feeling to foster. So for this one, depending on how tight you are or are not, you may want to use the blocks or your books down on the ground in a long line like we've done before, and then your bolster on top. I'll be doing it with just the bolster. So you're going to have your toes together and your knees apart, facing your bolster. You bring your bolster in toward you, and then you're just going to allow your chest and belly to relax onto the bolster. You can bring your hands up above you. You can bring them out into a W with your forearms sort of next to you in a goalpost shape. You can also take them and lay them alongside your shins, letting your palms open up. My favorite way is the goalpost way. And make sure you've adjusted your clothing so that once you get down here, you can stay still. You can lay down with your forehead down if that's not comfortable, grab a beach towel or your block, and you can place that underneath your forehead, or you can just lay down with your cheek to the side. I'll let you know when we're about halfway through so that you can change your cheek, which cheek is laying down, so that you are stretching both sides of your neck. We'll be here for about 5 minutes, so at 2.5 minutes, I'll let you know it's time to move. With each breath, see if you can release just a little bit more into the bolster beneath you. You have your head turned to one side. Now it's time to turn and place your other cheek on the bolster. Stay focused on your breath. Continue to melt. And if you can take a moment to notice where your breath is, you'll notice that you feel it a little bit more in your back body while you're in this position. 3 more deep breaths here. You have your hands extended or out to the side. Bring them right beside the bolster. Press into your hands. Walk your hands in toward you. Move the bolster out of your way. Take your bottom to one side and take your legs out. Shake them out. Our final pose today is Shavasana. So you should do this in a way that is really comfortable for you. I'm going to move these blocks out of my way. I'm going to use the bolster underneath my knees. You might want to use a blanket to cover yourself so you don't get chilled. And open your feet out about as wide as your mat. You can let your knees be on the bolster or on top of a blanket or a rolled up yoga mat. And then just lay yourself down. You might want another rolled up towel or blanket for underneath your neck. Roll your shoulder blades together underneath you. Turn your palms up for receiving, palms down for grounding. Work out any wiggles. Make sure you've got your clothes adjusted. Make sure you've moved everything you need to move, scratched any itches you need to scratch, so that you can come to stillness. And once you're here in stillness, bring your awareness to your breath. Notice how your breath flows in and out of your body. And see what else you notice about your body in this position. You find yourself, you find your thoughts wandering away, moving on to the next part of your day or going back in the past. Use your breath, gently bring it back to noticing your body in this experience right now. If you'd like to continue with your Shavasana, I invite you to do so, continuing to absorb your practice. If you need to move on with your day, just get up very slowly, turn onto your side, and gently press up to a seat. Thank you for spending your practice with me. I am truly honored. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you.